Hello, how are you today? I'm Leonard Wu Stevens, and I'm here today to talk about weight loss and love gain. So, why can I talk about weight loss? I have lost weight, significant amounts of weight, several times in my life. Might not look like it now, but it's true. So when I was in college, I gained I got up to about 320 pounds, which is even 30 pounds bigger than I am now. And over the next 3 years, I was able to cut down to 190. Pretty amazing, right? And I stayed down there for a couple years, but I didn't address the underlying reason I was eating so much to begin with, why I gained the weight to begin with, that I got back up. I was up in the 280s, 290s, kind of where I'm in now. And I lost 60 pounds, but then gained 60 pounds back. And then I'd lose 60 pounds, and now I've gained that 60 pounds back. And here we are, my fourth time attempting to lose a significant amount of weight. And here are the pictures of me. Let's see if you can see. This will be more technologically advanced later. But, this is me. Let's see if I can get it without the glare. Boom. So, living large. And the side shot. Right? So, hopefully, there will be some nice after pictures in, taking a long view. Probably a year. Maybe less. Who knows? But as I kind of hinted at, the problem does not seem to be losing the weight. My problem seems to be keeping the weight off. And I've done a lot of work in this arena. When I say work, I mean I've gone to a counselor, I've journaled about it, I've thought about it. As one of my biggest problems, I've been fat my whole life, one of my biggest problems is being overweight. I've spent a lot of time trying to combat that problem. And I've come to the conclusion that the reason that I eat so much is because I don't love myself. That's why I can't keep the weight off. Because if I loved myself, I could use that love energy. I know that's kind of amorphous, but we'll get into that in weeks to come. But I'll use that love energy to speak against mistruths. Okay, for example, so this usually happens a few days into a diet. You've been eating crap for about 8 months, and your new diet says no carbs. I don't know about you, but 3 days into a no carb diet, only thing I want to eat is bread. Just plain bread. Like it could even be that just the crust of bread. Nobody likes the crust. I'll eat the heel of the bread. I want bread so much. So I eat a piece of bread. No big whoop. Probably could still maintain the diet. But internally, I have now failed my diet. And because I have failed, I feel shame. And I have nothing to counter that voice of shame with. Nothing to say, Leonard, you're not a failure for eating a piece of bread. Leonard, you're better than a piece of bread. Those sorts of things. I don't have that internal voice in me. And so instead, to counteract this pain in my soul, I make myself physically feel better by eating. And so then I gain weight, cycle continues. That's what, I think that's what happens to me. Maybe it happens to you too. So how do we counteract that? And the whole point of this, I love myself so that I can speak against those voices when they come, or those internal voices, internal dialogue, I guess. I can speak against those with a voice of love. I'm not angry, not pissed off, just, I'm not a failure because I ate a piece of bread. This diet in the long run isn't what defines me as a person, right? I don't know what does define me as a person. I don't know what there is to love about me. So that's the journey that I'm going to go on over the next couple weeks, years. I don't know. if in 6 months or 6 years I still look the same, but I love myself, I'm going to call that a win, because I realized and have realized that if I can't love myself looking like this, I can't love myself when I'm skinny. And that's bared out. Like when I've lost weight, I still hate myself. I still think I'm fat because I haven't fixed the underlying problem. And so my whole goal with this video, if it becomes a series, whatever, is learn to love myself. And I think that's a very important journey that all of us need to take. And I think it'd be helpful, I hope it'd be helpful for you to see and help me how I learned to love myself. And along the way, I'll give you some dieting tips that I've found work for me. They might not work for you, but they might work for me. So that's kind of the general overview. In the future, I'm going to try to keep the videos shorter, but I mean, this first one necessarily had a, front loaded with what are we doing here? So that's that. Next week, shorter video. No promises though, because as you can tell, I like to talk a lot, so you got time. So, what am I going to do this week to lose weight? And 2 words. All that I want to do this week, stunning visual effects, is to build momentum. That's all I want to do. That's it. I want to build some momentum. I want to make it so easy for myself to complete a goal that it's almost laughable. Almost. So, what goal am I setting? I would like to lose 1 to 2 pounds this week. Like I said, I was 287.7, so next week I'd like to be 285.7 or 286.7. Okay? What am I doing to accomplish that? I am not a medical doctor. Not a doctor! But I have found for me the things that work are adjusting my diet and my exercise. And so let's talk about diet for a second. So for my diet this week, I've been eating trash, like just absolute trash, like eating out every night, like having a small breakfast and then a giant evening meal at like 10 o'clock. So I've just been having the worst eating habits you could have, right? So changing those, modifying those slightly should allow me to meet that goal of 1 to 2 pounds. Now, could I do more? Sure. I know that I can do more because I've been on a diet. The best diet I've been on is called the Eat to Live diet. But it's a very strenuous diet. And I don't think I could do it right now. Like, I think I'd be right back in the boat of within 3 days. It's a vegan diet. Within 3 days, I'm going to want a steak. Look at me. I'm a guy who eats steak. And so here I am wanting steak. I eat the steak because I haven't built up a sufficient level reservoir. Think that's a failure, and then I'm off the diet, and I'm just like, I'll just start next Monday. It's a whole big deal. So I don't want to go to big extremes and overwhelm myself with the diet. What I really want to do is create a win for myself. And I want you to create a win for yourself too. You are going to win next Monday. Whatever you decide to do, you are going to win. You are going to do whatever it takes to win this week, to create a win for yourself next week. And so, for me, I went to the store yesterday and got some healthier options. And when I say healthier options, I'm not talking about lean cuisine or whatever is out there now. I haven't bought diet food in a couple years. I just got Chef Boyardee. That's something I like that isn't necessarily great for me, but it's not as bad as restaurant food. So I'll have some Chef Boyardee, and not eat trash, not go out to eat, except for I'll give myself a cheat meal. So that's it for diet. Slightly reduce the amount of calories coming in, slightly, and drastically cut out eating out except for one cheat meal. So that's it. And I think that alone would get me the 1 to 2 pound win that I'm looking for. I'm also going to start to try to exercise. I haven't exercised in like 2.5 years, but I'd like to start small. So I mean, and I'm talking really small, like maybe climb a couple flights of stairs, go for like a 10, 15, 20 minute walk, maybe do a little jogging, like nothing too strenuous. Because again, if you set such a lofty goal for yourself that you don't make it, like let's say your goal is to run a mile and you run 9/10 of a mile without, and not having exercised for the past however many years. That's freaking phenomenal. You ran 9/10 of a mile just off the sofa. But you know what we're inclined to do? We're inclined to look at that 1/10 of a mile, call ourselves a failure, and quit. No, ma'am, no, sir, no. We are going to create a win for ourselves this week. We are going to win. So, set small exercise goals for yourself, and we're going to slowly build on those as we go. And I don't want you to even think about that. I don't want you to think about the future right now. The future, the long-term goal that you're setting, that you're kind of setting your sights on, is whatever poundage you want to be at in a couple of years. The real goal, the real North Star that we're porting towards is loving ourselves. So if we hit the loving ourselves shore, but not the weight loss shore, I guess that's just the way it is. So, long story short, small goals, small dietary changes. Do what you know you need to do to lose whatever small amount, to give yourself a win, whatever small amount of weight that is, so that next Monday you wake up, you weigh in, and you win. Weigh in. It should be win. You know, I win today. Every time you weigh in, it should be a win. So, I encourage you in that. You can do it, you will do it, and I'm happy for you. So what am I going to do as far as loving myself this week? I honestly have no idea. I'm not in the business of loving myself. Honestly, I don't know how much we'll get into my story. Nobody's really been in the business of loving me, and that's fine. But, well, it's not fine, but this is what I talk about with my counselor, so we can go over that later. So first, I'm just going to gather information this week. I'm not going to, affirm myself or blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't, that feels forced and nasty. So I'm going to talk with my counselor, and I'm going to send him an email or sit down with him for a session and say, what are some practical steps for me to love myself, to build up that love energy, and not big practical steps, but like, I don't know, self-care, I guess. See, I don't even know what the first thing about loving yourself is. And I'm going to Google it, because Google's a great resource, and we'll see what we get. And I'll report back next week. So that's it. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking some small steps, hoping to lose weight. See, I did it. That doubt, because I'm afraid that I'll fail, and I don't want to start something that I'll fail at. I'm so afraid of failing, I won't even start. But no, when I win next week, I have made small changes that will allow me to lose the weight I want to lose this week. And perhaps, as I'm talking, it sounds like somebody who loves themselves. Maybe this is part of the process, is believing in yourself, trusting yourself, those sorts of things. But I don't know. I'm not Google. Don't worry, that's not the coronavirus. Just haven't drank water in a minute. Talk too much. That means we probably need to end the video. So, remember anything. Create a win. Create yourself a win. I'm going to put this back here, I think, because I think this is the key. Make wins for yourself. So, thanks for watching. If you watched this long, I think we have like a catchy tagline. Do we have the catchy tagline? It's right here. So as you can see, there are some areas we need to make better here in the weight loss love gain video series. But, you know, I wanted to get started. I wanted to jump on it and not wait until everything was perfect. Because that's another thing I do to avoid starting something that I think I'll fail at. Because we know that we're never going to be perfectly ready for something. So we'll never have to start it. And then we'll never have to fail. But then nothing gets done. So let's see. So that's it. Have a great day. Have a great week. The credits. And now it is time for the post-credit scene. So, I'm daydreaming about a theme song. Like, I think that's really important to make something successful, to have a catchy theme song. Because then, like, it gets stuck in your head, and then throughout the week it's like, then you got that song stuck in your head, and you're like, what's that from? And then you think about it, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna create a win for myself. So I think that's important. And so I do have some experience creating theme songs, so I think it'll be pretty good. My roommate David, my ex-roommate David, I don't have any roommates right now, he started a podcast called You the Creator, and he didn't have a theme song, and so I created one for him, which I will share with you. It's the David K. Pugh Show. It's the David K. Pugh Show. It's you the creator, you the creator, you the creator, with David K. Pugh. Now, I'm not, as you can tell, vocally, singingly talented, right? But he is. He could have musicked it up. I think that's a fantastic, catchy, short, beautiful theme song. And so a few days later, he was like, hey, Leonard, you gotta listen to my theme song. And he just gone and got some random, you know, classical jazz music off of, I don't know, Getty Images or something. And he wondered why I was angry that it's okay. His loss, our game. So, like I said, thanks for listening. Theme song to come. And yeah. Bye-bye.